here. Yes. All right. Welcome everyone to our call this evening. We are so excited you're joining us. We are going to hear from some amazing ladies tonight. Before we start though, I just want to introduce myself. I am not Emily Gibson. I'm Melissa Nelson, but I'm using her account because she can record and my account cannot. So we're glad you're here. I have 3 little ones. I've been doing Plexus, their products, for a little over a year. About a year ago, I had hit rock bottom. I had suffered with anxiety and exhaustion, chronic fatigue most of my life, and it just came to a head after my 3rd little one. It got to the point that I was sitting on the couch trying to finish a picture book, just reading with my kids. I got halfway through the book and I couldn't finish it. I had to put them in front of the TV and go lay down on the couch because mentally and emotionally, I just couldn't do it. That's how bad I was. And I felt so trapped and frustrated, and I felt like there was no escaping my body at that moment. And I was so annoyed. I was so mad. But my friend introduced me to these products, and shortly after starting them, I started noticing small little differences, small little improvements that over the year and a bit that I've been taking these products have added up to be big changes in my life. And the 3 main products that we talk about, we've got a lot of amazing products, but there are 3 that are the core, and they're the core because they help address gut health, decreasing inflammation, and balancing hormones. And those are proving, there's a lot of research showing that those are the 3 main causes of most ailments. So the 3 products we call triplex. They're Slim, ProBio5, and BioCleanse, and they work synergistically to help fight those 3 problems: the gut health, hormone balance, or blood sugar balance, and decreasing systemic inflammation. And when you are able to help heal the body, then issues are able to start clearing up. So as you're listening to these stories, you might be thinking, oh yes, that sounds like me. I have similar issues. But you also might be thinking, no, that doesn't really sound like my story. But it doesn't matter. Everybody's story is different. You're dealing with different things. And as your body heals and balances, your story will be your story. And there will be healing and balancing. But it will be your story. It will be you. But we do love hearing from other people and their stories and their experiences because it's just fun and we like it. So we are going to hear first from Carrie. She's going to explain health testimonial. Then we'll hear from Aubrey. I think she's on the call too. And then finally, Candy. So go ahead, Carrie. Take it away.
Hi, guys. My name is Carrie Child. I am a Silver Ambassador with Plexus, and I've been taking the products for just over a year. And I've only been really selling for about a couple months. When I first started, I just had no interest. I was actually part of another company, just using their products, and decided that this was a better fit, or I wanted to try it. About 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I have twin 5-year-olds. So that's part of the story. I have twin 5-year-olds, and we suffer from secondary unexplained infertility. So I'll cry because I'm a crier. Our twins were conceived naturally, and then we have no reason why we're not pregnant. Sorry. Anyway, so about 2.5 years ago, we had gone through all the testing, and we had a failed IUI, so an intrauterine insemination. And at that point, I was like, if I look back now, that was the beginning of the end of my to hit rock bottom. I started teaching English really early in the morning. That's why I'm already in my pajamas, because I still teach English early in the morning. And then about 6 months later, we moved. And as we were packing up, I found a bottle of my old antidepressants, and I decided that I needed to start taking them and to see if they worked. And a month later, I told my husband, I said, I'm depressed. I've got to go get medicine. Something has to change. So I did. I got on antidepressants, and I slowly started getting a lot better. But about 9 months later, I just noticed they weren't working as well. I wanted to get off of them because I knew my depression was situational, not chemical. And so I just wanted to be off of them. And so my friend Emily Blodgett, and actually turns out I knew Emily Gibson also. We went to college together. So she was like, you need to try these products. And I was like, okay. So I kind of just jumped in. The cost was, of course, a big cost. We bought a new house. We have 5-year-olds. And I had told myself that I would give it at least 6 months because cost of infertility is so high that why not just try it for 6 months anyway, no matter the cost. And after 6 months, I decided to, I hadn't really noticed big changes. I'll say the biggest change that I noticed was I remember being in the car with my kids and wanting to sing with them and not feeling like I was going to fall asleep at the wheel. Because I taught so early in the morning, I just felt so tired all the time. And I'm sure some of you can relate to that. And I just remember being like, this is not safe for me to drive my kids about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so, but I remember finally feeling like I could drive and I wasn't going to like fall asleep or doze off a little bit here and there. And so I just thought those were like little glimpses, but I really noticed the biggest change after I went off my antidepressants and about 3 months after that. So it took me about 9 months. So if you're just wondering if these products work, 9 months, guys, 9 months. I'm 34 years old. It took 9 months, almost a year, to really be like, wow, I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to have energy. I feel like all of my antidepressants are out of my system, out of my Adderall is out of my system. I have ADHD-induced anxiety and depression. And so because my brain literally, like, obviously you can tell from my story, I'll go like this because my brain just doesn't continue with one story. So I just started noticing little differences here and there, but my story took a long time to get. And although we still have infertility and that probably is still unexplained and we have no reason. And my story is not a weight loss story. I am overweight, but I know that that will come, and I had to deal with my mental and emotional problems that were there first. So Plexus has helped me, and that's why I share it, because it has made a difference in my life, and I've seen it make a difference in people I know. But I've also seen, like, it takes time and consistency, and that's the thing I want to share the most, is that you need to be consistent, and if you're going to try it, commit to trying it, because you may not be the one who sees success in 30 days or 60 days or even 90 days, and it may take time, and you have to find the right, for lack of a better word, cocktail of products that work for you, because we do offer such a wide range. It's not one size fits all, just like anything is. And so consistency is the key. And I'm so glad that I was consistent for over a year so that I could see results, because I can't imagine if I had given up after 60 days just because I didn't see the results that other people are seeing. So
I love your story. And I love that, yes, this is not a quick fix. This isn't something that you're going to take and it's going to cover up symptoms. It is healing the body from the core. It's getting at the core issues, and that does take time, and yes, consistency. So I love your story. I haven't heard it before, so thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Okay, we are going to move on. Aubrey, are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, take it away.
Okay. Are you sorry, everything's like freezing. Are you ready for me to go?
Yes, yes, yes. if you're ready.
Okay, yeah, I am. Okay, hi, sorry about the confusion. I'm Aubrey. I've been doing Plexus for about 2 years, and for the past 10 years, I've been an elementary school teacher. I have 3 kiddos, an 8-month-old, a 4-month-old, and a 10-month-old. And I was 2, I I never know how to tell my because it's a combination of like 28 different symptoms that I was dealing with that seemed completely unrelated. And I'm not going to talk about all 28 of them, but bottom line was first stomach issues that I've always struggled with, chronic constipation since I was a little kid, not wanting to go out to recess after eating lunch at school, like even as a first grader, I remember that. And just always being bloated and gassy and no food really sat well. And the constipation really was a hard thing for me. And I also always had chronic fatigue. Even as a kid, I was the first one to fall asleep at sleepovers. As a teenager, I could not stay up past like 10 or 11 o'clock. I would want to nap during the day. In college, same thing. And that's not normal, like when you're in your teens and 20s. And then I also had anxiety a lot as a kid, mostly social anxiety, but also looking back, just general anxiety. Like every night going to bed, I would panic. And even into high school, as a senior in high school, I would wake up in the middle of the night panicked and have to go crawl into bed with my parents, which is super awkward when you're like 17. And so my stomach issues and fatigue and anxiety were kind of things that I grew up with. And then as I got into college, sugar cravings became a really hard struggle for me. I was on the BYU swim team. I got a scholarship. I've always been a competitive swimmer, and I earned a scholarship to BYU to go on the swim team. And along with that comes like free college dining plan. So you can eat all the food that you want for free because athletes should not go hungry is like their motto. And so that means like unlimited desserts and food. So I had dessert after breakfast. I had dessert between classes. I had dessert after lunch and after dinner. And it was like out of control, my sugar addiction. To the point where I was like, well, I'm just going to get type 2 diabetes and that's just going to be fine because I can't battle the sugar. And I really kind of accepted that. I was not overweight because like I said, I was on the swim team and I was working out 4 hours a day. So when you're working out 4 hours a day, you don't really gain weight, but I wasn't like as thin as you would think for someone who's doing hardcore weightlifting and cardio 4 hours a day, because I was eating so much sugar. And that continued all through college. Because of my chronic fatigue, I actually had to give up my scholarship because I could not recover from practices and from swim practices. And I had to quit the team, which was a really hard decision because I then had to pay for my tuition in college. But my body just like couldn't keep up. And then after college, I got married and we had our first baby. And along comes the postpartum depression. And at that point, my anxiety was like up to here. Anytime I would get in the shower, I felt like I was drowning. And just lots of, I don't want to talk about all the symptoms of anxiety, but just lots of things with anxiety. And I started to get migraines, which I had never had before, and also chronic infections. I had UTIs all the time. And then I started to get strep all the time, which I thought was just normal because I was a teacher and you're exposed to all the germs that the kids have. But I was getting strep like 5 times a year and on antibiotics like 5 times a year. And I would get laryngitis and lose my voice twice a year, which was not helpful for my students. So all of these things, that's just like kind of the main ones. They all led me to Plexus. Basically, I had gone to the ER because I thought my appendix had burst, and they go through and do the tests and they're like, well, you're just constipated. You're just really backed up. So here's some magnesium citrate and we'll see you in the morning. And that was the first kind of trigger point that was like, okay, something's got to change. I just went to the emergency room thinking I was dying, and it was just constipation. And then I went to a gastroenterologist, and they diagnosed me with a condition that basically the nerve endings in the bottom of your colon have died. And he said, try this prescription laxative, which I was already taking laxatives. And he said, you know, if this doesn't work, we will have to remove the bottom part of your colon. So I said, peace out to the doctor, which it just didn't feel right to me. I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor, but that didn't sit well with me. And I didn't want to remove parts of my body. So I called my friend Brooke, who I had been secretly watching post about Plexus for like 8 months. She's my husband's cousin, like we're friends, but I never liked her posts. I never commented on them. I just was stalking her secretly because I was like, this isn't going to work. This is totally fake. But what if it works? Maybe this is the answer to all of my prayers for the past 20 years. And so I came crawling back to her and I said, Brooke, if you can help me poop, I'm yours for life. And I was only focused on the constipation because it was so bad that it kind of put blinders on for all of the other health issues I was having. And within a week, I was going to the bathroom regularly without a laxative for the first time in my life, basically. And that alone was life-changing. So of course I stayed on the products. After about 3 months though, my husband started noticing things, and we were working in our backyard, and he said, can we bottle up this new version of you and keep it just in case it goes away again? And that was another sign to me that Plexus was really healing my body, not just fixing the constipation issue, but healing all of the things that were going on in my body. Since starting Plexus, I have not had a sinus infection. I haven't even had a stuffy nose, which is life-changing for me. Like Kleenex and Flonase stock just went down because I started Plexus. I was so dependent on those things. And what else? I don't get migraines anymore. I have some pictures in my lap. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but this is my teaching picture the year before I started Plexus. And I made a Facebook post about this because I just found these were dejunking some closets. So this was the year before I started Plexus. I look tired, like it's a fake smile. And then this was about 6 months on the products. And I feel like it's a different person. And then this was 18 months on the products and a completely different person. Like really, when you, like Melissa was saying at the beginning of the call, when you heal your gut and decrease inflammation, you really start to age backward and become the fullest version of yourself. And I'm so happy to say that I've shed all the anxiety and depression, and I can show up in my life as the best version of myself for my husband, for my kids, for my students. I've been able to quit teaching, which is nice, but I was able to be a better teacher for my students. All because I got over myself and got over my fears and just tried something that I was pretty sure wasn't going to work. So if there's anybody on the fence, just go for it, commit to it. And I like how the previous person said that it takes time. And my real results started at like 3 or 4 months. And then the next 18 months of my journey, like up until now, every month was like a bonus present. Like, oh, you're sleeping better. Oh, you're not having strep anymore. Oh, you're this or that. And every one of my 28 symptoms over the past 24 months has gone away gradually. So Plexus has absolutely changed my life, and I just can't shut up about it. So that's my story.
I love your story. And I didn't know you were a swimmer. That's really cool. And I love how you're pointing out that it is a gradual thing, that I've been noticing things. Each month, I notice something different that has changed or has gone away. And it's a gradual thing. It takes 6 weeks to 6 months to balance the gut and 90 days to regenerate new and healthy cells. So once again, it's not a quick fix. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Aubrey. I love it. Okay, Candy, are you ready?
I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I started Plexus about 18 months ago. I'm a gold ambassador right now and hoping to be senior gold this summer. So just some of the things that, the reason I just want to do just a quick background of why I started. I had been watching Emily post for like 6 months and so curious about what it was, because I suffered from IBS, more IBSD, kind of self-diagnosed after years and years of going to the doctor. I was so tired of them telling me they weren't sure, we could run more tests. And so anyway, it would just intrigue me. I would wake up in the middle of the night with a sharp stabbing pain in the middle of my stomach, and that probably happened a couple times a month. Never could figure out what that was. And then I also had a real problem if we would go out to dinner or anything. I was the opposite of Aubrey. I would get diarrhea. Like, I knew that I had 30 minutes after we went out to dinner to get to a bathroom, which is horrible, a horrible date. So anyway, that was more of my problem, and kind of why I started. And then another thing is, I had never really noticed a big difference taking vitamins. My mom was always a huge vitamin taker, and I never really noticed much difference. And Emily would share about the vitamins and how much they helped her hair growth and all of these things, and sleeping. And I would go to sleep fine, but I'd wake up for at least 2 hours in the night not being able to sleep. So everything she was sharing intrigued me, and I thought, what have I got to lose? So I started, and I was never ever going to share. I just thought, I don't want anybody to know I'm on these things. I'm just going to see how it works for me. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, I kind of had a rough go at first with detox. But after about 3 weeks, I noticed that my hair stopped falling out. I was sleeping better at night. That's the thing that just shocked me, is how much better I was sleeping. And by about 3 to 4 months in, I was feeling so much better that I couldn't keep my mouth shut either. And so I started sharing the products. And mostly just with family and close friends, I would kind of tell them what I was doing. And it never failed that every time I talked to somebody, I found out that they had a health story. And like we've all said, people walk around feeling like crap, and none of us dare talk about it. And you know what we want is other people who kind of understand. And there's just a lot of issues that people deal with. So probably about last January, February, I started posting a little bit and sharing more regularly. And at first, I kind of wait more for people to come and talk to me about it. And I loved seeing when I would go order extra product, I had money in my wallet, which I didn't expect. I didn't even really get how we got paid with Plexus. I just was kind of like, hey, this is great. And so I at first used it to just buy extra products. But I have to tell you that last May, I was absolutely shocked when I got an email that said, you just got paid by Plexus. And the amount in there, I had been wanting to buy a bike, a road bike. My husband and I had joined a group the year before. It was a fundraiser thing that a lady in our town was doing. And it's called 130 Strong, and it's doing a triathlon in 2 weeks. And I love to swim, and I didn't know I loved to bike, but we biked, and we both wanted road bikes so bad, but they are really, really pricey to get a good one. And so we thought we'd have to just settle on getting just a mediocre one. And when I saw that paycheck, I was blown away. And my husband said, you've got to go buy your bike with this. So I was able to get the bike I really wanted, not just one I was going to settle for. And I think we ended up putting 600 miles on our bike last summer, and it was just so much fun. So that kind of kept me going and thinking, you know what, maybe this really could be a real thing, a real business. And in July, we went on a anniversary trip, surprised my husband with it. I was able to pay for a spa day for both of us, and we've never really done that for a long, long time together. And it was just so fun to not have to stress about the money, and to know that something that I'd worked for could pay for something like that. And then really consistently the last 6 months, I've made enough to pay for our house payment each month. That is something I never expected. Like when I first started Plexus, the way I decided I could afford it is if I cut out something, and I talked my husband into getting rid of our direct TV. We didn't watch TV very much, didn't really like it. And once he agreed, we got rid of it, and we have not missed it at all. But that was my reasoning that I could afford Plexus and pay for it was with that. And so to go from that, taking a chance and trying it and seeing how much better I felt, to being able to make our house payment when I need to, it's amazing to me. So anybody can do this. It is just such so many great products that you just can't help but share when you start feeling better. And then another unexpected thing is this community of women that we have. Like, this community of women is just amazing, and this team effort that it is. It's not like we're trying to outdo each other or that we don't want to help each other. We all help each other, and that's just been such a great thing to learn from you women, and to be able to, when we have questions, we can ask them, and we're right there for each other, and we're encouraging each other, and we're helping each other. And I love that unexpected surprise that has come with Plexus. So I'm a believer, and I love it, and I'll never stop.
Thank you so much for sharing, Candy. And you are so right. This community of women and men is really amazing. And I love your story. Thanks for sharing that. And I think that all of our goals is to find people who were like us before we started Plexus, and to let them know that there is a path to find help, to find happiness, to break free from the prison that they're in. And in the process of finding those people and sharing our stories, Plexus pays handsomely. They are really, really good to us. So we'd love for you to join us. I'm going to end this call, and we have a $40 free membership deal that is going till the end of this month. Get with the person who invited you, your friend who invited you to this call. Ask them for details, because we would love for you to take advantage of this deal and to join our Plexus family. We're pretty awesome. At least I think so. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, those who shared. Guys, have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.